Yeah, I'll do that later, not right now. I'm playing. Calm down, Rose. It's not as simple as that. What's not simple? Rose says. He saved all of our lives. I saw it happen before my eyes. We all would have been dead if it not for him. He is the one that gave you all those powers that allowed you to fight the dragon. Why are you acting like he's our enemy? It's because he is our enemy, Kate tells her bluntly. When we first met him this morning, he tried to kill Darren outright, ultimately decided against it on a whim. If what you're saying is true, he really did save all of our lives, then I'm inclined to believe that this was also a decision he made on a whim. What was the motivation he gave for saving the four of us? Kate's rebuttal made Rose lose a bit of steam. She pauses. He said that he wouldn't let the dragon win after having gloated like a villain from a children's storybook. Well, there you have it. But never mind Aiden's intentions. What I'm most interested in knowing is how you both got to interact with him in the middle of our fight when neither me nor Darren saw him appear until the end of the battle. He froze time, I tell her. Froze time? Darren asked, perplexed. How is that even possible? Beats me. He just snapped his finger and made time stop for everyone except me and him. Wait, what about Rose? Kate asked. He said that I was able to resist the spells because I'm a time weaver. Rose answers. What the hell is a time weaver? Kate says. According to Aiden's a person that isn't a mage but has all sorts of time powers like stopping or rewinding time, even seeing into the future, I tell her. Kate, did you start feeling any different after having withstood Aiden's spells? Darren asked her. No, I feel exactly the same as before. I think it was a mistake and I can't have time powers. A spell must have malfunctioned, that's all. Perhaps you're right, Darren asked. At any rate, we should be thankful enough that we somehow managed to make it out of this alive. I've heard stories about how dangerous this place was, but I never imagined it would be as bad as this. We are all in terrible shape. Here, let me start casting some healing spells. Once Darren finishes healing us all, we waste no more time, resume our journey in order to avoid meeting any mages or creatures that may have been attracted by the loud noise of our previous battle. I still don't understand one thing, Barry, Kate tells me as we walk side by side. How did Aiden manage to give you all of those powers? As far as I know, transferring powers between mages is impossible, though some kind of tool is to assist them. He used my stat device. I'm not sure exactly what he did, but he made it start glowing, then suddenly I got all those spells. I tried playing around with the stat booster ever since in order to see if I could unlock some secret option or something, but I couldn't figure out how he did it. Wait, you're saying you got all those powers through your stat device? No, that's impossible. In order for that to work, he'd need to have even less magical power than a human, otherwise he wouldn't match at all with the magical frequency of the device. She pauses. Actually, come to think of it, your magical aura was always weaker than that of a human. Wait, who's saying this? You need to say this guy said this. He used my stat. Okay, that's me saying that. Wait, you're saying you got all those powers? No, that's impossible. For that to work, you need to have even less magical power than a human. She pauses, so I'm guessing Kate is saying this. Actually, come to think of it, your magical aura was always weaker than that of a normal human. Very weak, in fact, almost as if you were a what? Kate suddenly stops in her tracks and looks straight at me. The look in her eyes slowly turns into one of both sheer terror and certainly understanding. Then her looks become darker than I've ever seen it before. As she continues to look at me straight in the eyes, almost as if I were a what? Never mind, it wasn't important. Let's catch up with the others. We're lagging behind again. Really? Really? The tone in her voice was as cold as her freezing magic. She does not say another word to me and goes to catch up with Darren and Rose. Great, just what we need. More underlying conflict in our group. I'm sure that this can only end well for everyone. Okay, sorry about this. I started the recording of my audio on this fucking thing, but I forgot to turn on the fucking recording on my phone for the video of the Magium app. And yeah, it's about an hour-long recording. And I have no fucking video of it. Because I am a genius. I have the biggest brain humankind could ever possibly evolve to fucking achieve. Fuck. At least it's a good thing that I'm only recording Magium, because there's really nothing to look at in the app. Most of the time I'm just talking and there's no photos in the app neither. And I always read out the options most of the time anyway. So I don't think there should be a problem, but I still apologize. But for an hour, this is how it's going to be. At least I fucking checked after an hour. I was about to go for like 2 hours. So at least there's that. Well, I mean, continue watching. Fucking I will say bye-bye. Barry, I would like to have a word with you in private, Kate tells me as the four of us are taking a small break near the river. I feel like we're gonna get attacked or something. I knew this was coming. I've been expecting it ever since we had that discussion that my stat device 2 hours ago. She barely spoke a word to me after that. and the look she's been giving me for the past hour has been sending chills down my spine. Whatever the reason for her sudden change of attitude towards me, I can't let things go on like this. We need to clear this up one way or the other. Alright, I say, lead the way. Kate goes on ahead. I start to follow her, but before I take my first step, Darren grabs me by the shoulder. Remember, Barry, 3 taps. The look in his eyes is dead serious. I realize he's talking about the magic transceiver he gave me last night, which I'm still carrying in my pocket. He told me to tap it 3 times in case I'm in danger. I guess he must have also noticed that something was wrong with the way Kate's been acting for the past 2 hours. I guess he's sensitive about that. Not to him, and he lets go of me. I then go on to follow Kate, who is heading deeper into the forest. I walk in silence for about a minute. Far are we going exactly? I ask her, but she gives no answer, continues to walk forward. After about another minute, she finally stops and turns to me with the same cold look in her eye she's giving me ever since we fought the dragon. Are you planning to tell me what? Kate doesn't let me finish my sentence. Suddenly made an ice dagger appear in her right hand, which she then almost immediately puts to my throat. Try to step back, but I realize there's a tree right behind me. She's now pressing her blade hard against my throat. I can feel a trickle of blood running down my neck as my back is being pushed against the tree's trunk. If you make any noise, I will slit your throat here and now. Do you understand? If you want to borrow some money from me, you could just ask nicely. Tap the tree. No, not just yet. Yes. Yes. Good. Now I want you to listen to me carefully. Answer my question. Tell me, what are you keeping? Where are you keeping Diane? What? The coldness in Kate's eyes is starting to get replaced by anger. Don't think you can get away by just feigning ignorance like you've been doing until now. I know who you are. I'm asking you again. What are you done with Diane? Where are you keeping her? Answer me. I have no idea what you're talking about. Who is Diane? Damn you. Kate shouts furiously at me while tears are starting to form in her eyes. Damn you to hell. I trusted you. Both you and Rose. Was this all part of your plan to recapture me? Were you trying to get close to me so that you could catch me off guard? Is Rose working with you too? What? No, listen to me. Where are the other Lacetti? Are they waiting to ambush me as we speak? Are they all just waiting for your signal? She thinks I'm a Lacetti, the race that built the dragon trap. What's wrong with her? She isn't making any sense. Damn it, Kate, I don't know what's gotten into you, but I'm not a Lacetti. Are you thinking, do you think I'd be wasting my time here trying to become a mage if I had the ability to build powerful traps and devices? You're lying, Kate tells at me. You're lying through your teeth. Humans could not survive with such a weak magical aura. There is no other race that looks exactly like humans with so little magical energy. Even if I am somehow a Lacetti, that doesn't deny the fact that I've been raised by humans. I've never met these guys who capture you. Does this have something to do with the beacon of hope? I'm not working with any of them. Please trust me on this. Why? She screams with tears sliding down her face. Why should I trust you? What makes you any different from the rest of them? Why should I believe that you won't simply betray me like everyone else I've ever met in my life? Because I helped you when we were attacked by the crossbowmen. That is hilarious. Because I can't go with the love option. You're forcing me into this. What is this? They're forcing me to say I love her? What the hell? I'm gonna go with this one. Let's see if I die. Because I helped you when we were attacked by the crossbowmen this morning. If I wanted you either dead or captured, that would have been the best time for me to seize the opportunity. Kate is looking like she may be taking my words into consideration, though there is still doubt in her eyes. Suddenly there is a sound coming from my pocket. This time it's not my SAT device. Mary, are you okay? Says Darren through the magical device. Still there? I tap the device with my left hand in order to activate it. Answer him. Yes, Darren, I'm fine. I'm just having a longer discussion with Kate. I'll let you know when we are done. Okay then, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just starting to get worried, that's all. Take your time. What was that? Kate asked me as I turn off the receiver. It's funny, she's still holding a dagger in my throat. At my throat as she speaks to me, but I find myself to be unusually calm about all of this. I wonder if it's because of everything I've been through since I joined the tournament yesterday. Oh, that was the device that Darren gave me, the communication. Gave me to communicate with him in case of an emergency, I tell her. What? No, that can't be right. We never talked about this during a strategy meeting. Why wouldn't he have also given me a device like this if it's for emergency? That's because Darren doesn't trust you. But you said, I'm sorry, I was afraid that you wouldn't believe me if I told you the truth. The fact of the matter is that I'm the one that convinced Darren to not perform the purification ritual on you when we first met. No, you're lying. Am I? Aren't you the one who said that Darren never looked at you as if you were a human being? Kate hesitates. Why would you, of all people? It's because of my sister, who turned into a banshee a long time ago. That's how I knew you were different. You really expect me to believe? She stops. Then when she sees the look on my face, you must have realized I'm being serious this time around. It happened 15 years ago. I tell her my family and I were living in a large isolated village. I mean, if it's pressed against our throat, can we even talk? I mean, wouldn't our voice box be put pushed downwards because of the blade. I don't know. Considering she did say that it's been pushed really hard, considering it's bleeding. My family and I were lying in a rather isolated village where people didn't really know much about banshees, mages in general. When my sister started gaining magical powers, we were all overjoyed because we thought we had a mage in the family. One night, I started getting flashbacks of the night when my sister turned into a banshee. It feels as if her sinister laughter is still ringing in my ears. When I'd come home to find the bodies of my parents lying in pools of blood, my sister standing above them, only it wasn't my sister anymore. Everything was different about her, even her magical aura. She was just about to kill my younger brother when I picked a pitchfork from the ground, impaled her with it. I was lucky the banshee had just awakened, which made her vulnerable. If I had arrived even a few minutes later, I don't think anyone would have been able to stop her anymore. I paused and then looked Kate straight in the eye. Darren's transceiver is made so that I can let him know when I'm in danger by simply tapping it 3 times. I could have done that the moment you put your dagger to my throat, but I didn't. For the same reason, I refused to go alone with you in these forests, despite the obvious risks. Because I wanted to talk things through with you and make sure that we clear things up between us. Now tell me, Kate, do you still think I'm saying all of this so I can gain your trust in order to capture or assassinate you? Kate's hand holding the dagger is starting to tremble. The fierce determination she had in her eyes is slowly dying down. She lowers the dagger. Her gaze turns towards the ground on the left side. No, I don't, she answers me. I'm really sorry for everything. That is not. Which one? I mean, they're both simple. There's no need to apologize. Yes, there is, she burst out. I'm almost murdered you in cold blood. Don't you dare brush it off as if it were nothing. Hey, calm down. I'm still alive, aren't I? That's besides the point. I was ready to slit your throat at a moment's notice. And telling me that we should just forget about this, act like nothing happened. Okay, I admit, maybe I exaggerated a bit. I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying that we should let bygones be bygones and move on. Why? Why are you still willing to trust me after all that's happened? What's wrong with you? Are you completely out of your mind? Of course I am. Surely you must have realized this when you found out that the true reason I joined the tournament. Looking at me as if she can't believe the words I'm saying. So I tell her as I hold out my hand, are we still friends? Kate looks like she's still recovering from the shock of what I just said. Friends? How can you even say such a thing after what just happened? Don't you understand what you're putting yourself in danger by traveling with me? No! That's the thing. That's the best. See, this is normally I would be like, oh shit, why the fuck would you want to be friends with her? She just tried to kill him and whatever. No. Kate is slightly different with this shit because it's misunderstandings and miscommunications. That's what's happening. And that's the whole point of this whole thing. Unlike, medieval fantasy and all the women in that show, this one is not, she's not hostile because of, because she just wants to be an absolute bitch. She's hostile because she's confused, she's scared, and 10 other things actually with all the past and maybe her sister Diane being captured or whatever. It's understandable. So what? How would traveling with you be any more dangerous than having to fight a Stillwater and a dragon at the same time? At least if you're coming with us, I'll feel safer knowing that you're watching my back. Kate pauses and looks at me hesitantly. Are you sure about this? She says, yes, I'm sure. Come on, shake my hand already. My arm is going numb. Kate smiles sadly as she sniffs and wipes the tear from her eyes and her sleeve. You're an idiot, she tells me as she grabs my hand, squeezes it firmly. I know, I tell her as we finish our handshake. We should be going. Darren and Rose must be getting impatient. Wait, she says, I still owe you an explanation for all of this. It's the least I can do. Does this have anything to do with the Beacon of Hope? Can you first tell me who these... I already know who they are, so we're gonna go with this one. Does it have anything to do with the Beacon of Hope? Yes, this has everything to do with the Beacon of Hope. She pauses. The Beacon was an orphanage of sorts. They took in children from all over the continent. I offered them shelter. Wait. It was an orphanage. Well, I suppose it makes sense. It's called Beacon of Hope. I just thought of a laboratory for some reason when I heard Beacon of Hope. They took children from all over the continent, offered them shelter and free meals. I was born in Varathia and abandoned as a child, so I was sent there at a very young age. The institution was run by a handful of very influential Lasethi at the time, who had deep... aren't Lasethi like extinct? Didn't Aiden say something about that? Sent here at a very young age. Maybe they're not. The institution was run by a handful of few influential Lasethi at the time, which had deep ties with the Varathian royalty. Unfortunately, the true purpose of that orphanage was not to shelter children who had no home, but to exploit them because they had no family members left to ask about them. To treat, experiment, that's what I said. Beacon of Hope sounds like a lab. Through repeated experimentation, the Recessi were trying to find a way to turn regular humans into mages. So what you're saying is that you got your powers as a result of those experiments. I did, although the method they used had a extremely low chance of success. Forcibly injecting magical circuitry into a human body is not only a very risky procedure, but also particularly painful. Of the thousands of orphans that were detained in that institution, only a handful of us survived. Due to the lack of results on their part, the Recessi eventually stopped receiving funds for their project from the royalty. They were forced to shut down the beacon. So, they just let you all go after that? No, they didn't. I was part of the rejects. The prolonged experiments had somehow failed to kill me, but my magic was so weak at the time that I could barely conjure a snowflake. They had no need for rejects, so they just dumped us on other continents. They should have eliminated their enemies. I don't know why would they do that. They used the teleportation magic to transport us, each of us, in various remote jungles across the world with nothing to our names other than clothes on our back and some knives they gave us to fend for ourselves. I was 12 at the time. Why did they do that? I guess they find that funny or something. Maybe, I mean, it's understandable. If you're super powerful, things like these would be funny. And, death is not that scary, I guess, to someone like that. Like, think about it. Like, if you are the dictator of a country or something, and you're just enjoying life in every way possible, and you do something like this, and then you let these people go, they could come back and kill you. The possibility of that is very low, but if they do it, even then, what does it even matter? You have lived your life to the maximum extent you can possibly live it. So I guess it's fine.